We hear it every single day. Men are weak. Men are too strong. Men are too loud. Men are too soft. Men are too quiet. Men should be talking more. Men should be talking less. Women can do everything a man can do. We hear it all the time. But what actually makes a man? And maybe more importantly, because a lot of these arguments are so stupid, what actually separates a boy from a man? And it's not turning 18, people. What's the actual quality that makes you a man? That's what we're talking about today. Now, if you're wondering why I'm so passionate about this subject, it's because I believe that if you change the man, you change the world. And I am on a mission to change over 1 million men's lives over the next few years by helping them quit pornography and helping them step deeper into their purpose and their calling. That's what we're about, and that's why this show exists. If that's what you want to be a part of, you want to be part of this movement of changed men who are changing the world one day at a time, make sure you subscribe so that you get all this content delivered to your feed and so you can join the community and be a part of a movement that is raising up men who are going to pioneer a new standard of integrity in the next move of God and in the end times, whenever it is that Jesus comes back, whether it's in our lifetimes or not, we are going to set a new standard, and you can be a part of it. So make sure you subscribe so that you can be part of the movement. I don't want you to miss out. And truthfully, selfishly, if you're listening to this content or you're watching this on YouTube, I just want you to be part of it because I know you're a high quality dude, and I want high quality dudes in our communities, part of what we are championing here through the Man Within podcast and through my coaching practice, Deep Clean Coaching. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the one quality. This episode today is just about one quality. It's not about the 7 qualities that every single man needs or whatever it might be. It's really just one. And a mentor of mine, she's actually a woman, but somebody that just gave some of the best advice I've ever received in my life. And again, I'm not talking about one specific moment. She just was constantly a source of advice and wisdom, and I had a season where I had regular access to her, and every single time I ran into an issue, I would just say, hey, can I have 10 minutes? And she would just set me straight. She was very practical, she's very direct, and she really, really changed my life. And I'm actually going to share one of my conversations with her today that kind of allowed me to identify this quality. But the reason I wanted to say all of this is to tell you that I am trying to live up this quality every single day. As the father of 2 kids, married to a beautiful woman for 6 years, I run a business with 7 full-time employees, and I manage all these different relationships and partnerships our company has, and create all the content here for YouTube and Instagram and everywhere else that we're doing stuff. Plus coaching our clients, I juggle a lot, and this quality, if I do not work on this quality every single day, everything I just listed to you could be lost. My marriage, my kids, my business, my calling. So this quality is a really big deal. I was talking to this mentor of mine. Her name is Kathy. I was talking to Kathy a long time ago, and I now that I think about it, I don't remember if I was talking to her directly one-on-one or if there might have been a group, because there was a group of us that were interning underneath her and her husband, Gordon. And Kathy just made this little statement, which is that she said for women, in the context of relationships, she said for women, they need to always guard against complaining or nagging. Like they need to be really careful with how they talk to their husbands and also how they talk about their husbands. That's the sin that women tend to fall into. And when you're in a little table of a couple young men and a couple young women, and someone is giving a talk and they start going after women, well, that she's then going to talk about what men need to guard against. And I'm kind of racking my brain a little bit, like, oh, what is she going to say? Like, men need to be nicer or more respectful, or I was kind of guessing. This is just how my brain works. I love to guess what people are going to say before they say it. Anyway. So she says, so she kind of finishes her point about girls and women, and the girls were pushing back a little bit, and that kind of thing. But she got her point across, and by the end of it, they were like, okay, fair. Men, then she gets to men. Men need to guard against backing out. What? Men need to guard against being absent. And she said, look at the rates of fatherlessness in homes across North America, the Western world. Men bounce. Men peace out. It gets too hard and they're gone. So man needs to guard against the sin of abdicating responsibilities. You know, I think back to Adam in the garden. Adam wasn't just given rules and instructions. He was actually given responsibility. He got to name all the animals before God gave him Eve. And there's a lesson there, right? Which is that order precedes relationship. Order precedes the home. Precedes the home, sorry. So get your life in order and then, you know, you're fit to manage a house. But I think more importantly, what it kind of tells us is that Adam had responsibilities, and when he let Eve do what she did, and he abdicated from them. He could have spoken up, he could have intervened, he could have done something, but he stayed quiet instead. And whether it's passivity or it's physically abandoning your responsibilities, men need to show up. That is what your family needs. They need you to show up and they need you to be present. And I'm so grateful Kathy told me that because I was single at the time. I don't think I was even, well, I definitely was not even dating Shaloma, who's now my wife. I was single, but I kind of just tucked that away. And I'll tell you, as a husband and now a father for the last couple years, there are days where you just don't want to do it. You just don't want to show up. And the honest truth is, I could get home from work, eat dinner, and go out and tell my wife, hey, I'm watching sports with a buddy, or I'm going to go work out. And she could say, but I need you here at home, da 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 da. And I could still walk away. And my wife would never do that. She is, because moms are so loyal. They have that embedded bond with their children. Women very rarely abandon their families. It still happens. It's not the norm. If there's abandoning happening, it's usually the men. So men, this is something that we need to guard against. Now, I will give you a real-time story. This is not me getting up on my soapbox today and saying, hey, look how great I am. You should be more like me. This is me saying, hey, I'm figuring this thing out, and I hope that you and I can maybe figure this thing out a little bit together. I just went on a trip to California. I did a podcast tour to promote Deep Clean Inner Circle, which is a new product that we've just launched. We kind of launched it with our audiences back in the spring and tested it, refined it, got lots of feedback, and now it's ready for the larger public. And so we're doing a big push right now. I'm doing 4 or 5 podcasts a week, interviews, media appearances, all that. So I'm in California, and I have 4 interviews. 2 of them are really big, and the other 2 are whatever. And one of the interviewers messages me as I'm getting on the flight to say, hey, I'm not going to be able to do the interview. Now this was supposed to be a swap, a pod swap. So I interview with him, he interviews with me. And so we're on each other's platforms and we cross promote. And granted, he's a much bigger platform than me. I was very, very honored that he'd invite me on. So his message, he said, hey, I can't interview you for my show anymore, but you can interview me for yours. Oh, hey, what a great deal for me. Not quite, but again, as men, we got to show up, right? And so I bought a hardcover copy of his book. I asked for his signature when I was there. I wanted to be his #1 fan, tell him how grateful I was for his time. And we recorded an interview together that was for my show. It was only 50% of the equation or what was promised and what was supposed to be, but I showed up. And the interview experience itself was not great either, just to be honest. He's on his phone during some of the interview, and he was very distracted. And I was really disheartened a little bit during the interview. And I could just kind of feel it was one of those moments where God's watching, and not like God's watching like crossing his arms in a judgy way, but God tests the heart, right? And he watches to see our motives and how we respond to disappointment and everything that comes with it. And I just remember saying, man, I'm so proud of myself. This is as I was driving home. I'm so proud of myself for showing up. Because it would have been easy to back out. It would have been easy to just say, he doesn't care, and I'm kind of getting bailed on here, so who really gives a rip? I'll just bail on it, or I'll show up and we'll do the interview, and whatever happens, happens. But no. I showed up. I did my prep work. I was well rested. I took every measure I could, the same way that I would if he was interviewing me on his show. And it's not like, and it turned out to be a great experience. It wasn't that at all. It turned out to be a really mediocre experience, but I just showed up. And look, I'm telling you, with your fitness, with your faith, with your family, with your integrity, some days you just need to show up. The 1,000 plus clients that we've helped quit pornography, the success stories all have one thing in common. They didn't give up. They kept showing up day in and day out. And I'm telling you right now, whatever your goals are in life, whatever your ambitions are, whether you want to make a bag of money, you want to have a beautiful family, be a present father, you want to quit pornography, you want to bench a certain amount of weight or look a certain way, I'm telling you right now, just show up. Because the cardinal sin that men embrace is abdicating responsibility. And it's not okay. You as a man are called to be there, to be present for your loved ones, for your goals, for your teams, for your initiatives, whatever it is, whoever's God's brought into your life and whatever he's entrusted you with, own it. Be present and run after it with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Guys, that's everything for today. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe so that you get future content like this. I'll see you in the next one.